I realized that he doesn't really have much wrestling. He relies on evasion, trying to get away. He relies on jiu-jitsu instead of solid takedown defense. And same with the ground game. You know, I watched Francis Ngannou be able to rack up, I think, maybe 5-6 minutes of top time in that fight. And Francis is not a guy that's known to control people on the top. So he does have the striking down. I don't think defensively he's a very strong kickboxer. He has a really nice offense. Like I said, his defense is mainly in his footwork. And the two other big holes are jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
Jon Jones has just reacted to Tom Aspinall's open workout ahead of UFC 321, and he was stunned by what he saw. After spending over a year away from the octagon, Aspinall has come back looking quicker, sharper, and more lethal than ever before. His open workout has sent shockwaves throughout the MMA community.
This whole thing with Jon Jones, is that just completely forgotten about now? And especially when you hear Pereira talking about Jon Jones at the White House, what are your thoughts on all of that?
In all honesty, I just couldn't really care less about any of it. I'm just like focused on this. This is what I want to do. As far as I'm concerned, that's done. That's in the past. Jon Jones is retired now. So what's the point in really talking about him?
I guess the clarifying question then is, if Dana and Hunter do come to you after this fight, the figures make sense to you, would you then be open to fighting Tom Aspinall, or are you categorically thinking, he does nothing for me, I will not fight that guy?
He does nothing for me. He does nothing for me. If you're a person that wants to see me really challenged, then I get it. 7 years younger, like 35 pounds bigger than me, right? I get it. It's like, wow, this Jon's so good. We finally found someone way younger and way bigger than him. Let's see how he does against that. I get that narrative. But for me, if you were my manager, if you were on my team, why not fight against Pereira, a guy who's the same age as you, and we walk around the same exact size? Business-wise, it makes more sense. Fight I'm gonna call him this, fight the nobody that may be more dangerous, or fight the guy with all the accolades who's incredibly dangerous, but it actually will affect your legacy.
As he effortlessly showcased lightning-fast striking, smooth jiu-jitsu transitions, and a calm, unshakable confidence that radiated pure championship energy.
For Tom Aspinall, you said you don't really care about the belts, you really want to prove you're the best. Is there any other fighter in the heavyweight division that you feel you need to beat to prove that you are the best, other than Ciryl Gane?
Yeah, there's lots of guys, man, but I'm the kind of guy who doesn't look past my opponent. I'm very, very serious about this fight. I've been training for the last year without a break. I've had absolutely no breaks. I'm much better now than I was in my last fight, and I want to show that. But as far as other heavyweights and stuff, right now that doesn't really interest me. Jon Jones is retired, so I don't really have much to say on that, to be honest. So I'm fighting this guy, and this guy's really good, so I'll be as ready as I can be.
Should you overcome Ciryl Gane, who do you really see left in the heavyweight division? And I know everyone's talking about Jon Jones, Alex Pereira, but I quite like the sound of Tom Aspinall, Alex Pereira. What about that?
I don't know, whatever the UFC want to do. I think it's pretty obvious that they're going to do the winner versus winner. Me and Gane versus Volkov and Almeida. Sorry. Not like a tag team match. It sounded like I was doing it like a tag team then. No, the winner of us versus the winner of them. I think it's going to be next for the heavyweight title.
Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, Jalton Almeida and Volkov being the co-main event, if they are. Just being on the fight card, they're going to be a backup fighter if anything happens to the main event. What's your thoughts on Volkov versus Gane? Sorry, Aspinall versus Gane.
I mean, I think it's the next best thing that we could get right now, with Jon Jones not being able to do it and stepping away. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what Tom's plan is going to be, because I think on the feet, they're pretty evenly matched. I think it could be fun on the feet, but I think there's definitely a huge advantage for Aspinall when it comes to the wrestling and the grappling. And I think he'd be silly to not at least attempt to make it a bit of a grappling match and try to get the ground and pound, take him down. And we'll see. If he can defend takedowns, it could be a lot of fun. But if not, I think Tom can make some quick work. But there's a lot of pressure on Tom, man. We were talking about it on the pre-show this weekend that, you didn't get the Jones fight. You waited all this time, and now you've got to fight somebody else. And it's always tough because you want to win that one to really prove to everybody that, yeah, you are that guy. You are the great. You are the best. You're the reason Jon didn't want to take this fight, blah, blah, blah. If you go and lose that one, you just...
Yeah. Well, we haven't had guests on for a little bit because I've just been all over the place and very, very busy and all the rest of it. So I'll reach out to Tom and see if we can get him on next week, and we'll start getting some guests on again. Tom isn't the type of guy that talks shit usually, but he did do a video where he was talking.
Even Joe Rogan couldn't stay silent, highlighting Aspinall's unbelievable speed and fluidity, saying it's almost unnatural for a man his size to move that way. Rogan described him as a heavyweight who fights like a middleweight, and fans everywhere are finally realizing just how terrifying that really is. Aspinall has been away for a while, quietly grinding, evolving, and perfecting every aspect of his game, and now it's all coming together. Jon Jones, who's been closely watching the heavyweight landscape, reportedly praised Aspinall's composure and technical brilliance, admitting that it had become one of the most dangerous threats in the entire division.
You're going to be the only fighter that has fought Tom, Jon Jones, and Francis, who people think are two of the best heavyweights ever. When you watch Tom fight, do you see anything that he has that stands out compared to Francis and Jon?
Everybody have his strengths, everybody have the weakness. The particularity of Tom Aspinall is he's well-rounded. He's a huge fighter, he's a new build, like me, technical and fast, so it's different.
So if you ask me, I think Tom Aspinall have more opportunity to win. He looks better on the paper. But Ciryl Gane have also his chance to put him in a deep water, in the last rounds. We'll see how it's happened, how it will work, because nobody see Tom Aspinall in a long fight.
Which is Tom Aspinall fights Pavlich and takes that fight on 2 weeks' notice and becomes the interim champion and fucks his back up and can't train at all. But Aspinall, like that guy's, he's something special. He really is something special. He's a very unusual example because he's a heavyweight. He's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And his coach, Colin, I forget, it's from Cabal, this gym that he trains at in the UK, Colin Huron. He trained Darren Till. Colin, from the early days of the career, was like emphasizing his speed. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see, like, fuck, he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
But Jones knows better than anyone just how dangerous Ciryl Gane truly is. After all, he submitted Gane in just 2 minutes during their fight. That's what makes this matchup between Aspinall and Gane so intriguing. Sure, most fans are backing Aspinall, believing his speed, power, and ground game will be too much for Gane to handle, but it's impossible to ignore the Frenchman's elite striking, slick footwork, and high fight IQ. Gane remains one of the most technical heavyweights in the sport, and that's exactly what makes his fight so unpredictable.
Feels good to just have something to work towards after having a year of not having something to work towards. I've always been in the gym, but it's nice to have a goal, have an opponent. This fight in particular has been simmering for quite some time, so looking forward to getting in there and doing the job. I just want to be a champion who fights often, regular, and fights the best guys. I don't want to be these guys who fight, with big breaks in between, because that's what's happened. Nothing to do with me. I'm ready to put a stop to that, be active, be an active champion, be a defending champion, and fight the best guys. He's the number one contender, so I think that's what champions should do, is they should fight the number one contenders. I'm the champion. He's the next best guy. Let's fight and find out who the best guy is. That's the way it's supposed to go. Cyryl's a really good opponent. He's really unique with his style. I've never fought anyone like him before. That being said, he's never fought anybody like me before, so let's get in there, see what happens. That's what dreams are made of, isn't it? That's what I got into this sport to do, is to be the UFC heavyweight champion. To walk out there, last on the card, everyone's waiting for me, walk in there, put in a big performance. Hey, when I was a little boy putting the gloves on for the first time, I was thinking about this kind of stuff, so I always have to keep reminding myself this the whole time, is like, all the pressure, all the titles, all the fans and all that aside, I'm here doing what I love, I'm here doing what I dreamed of, and looking forward to going and doing it.
I've considered myself very lucky because there's a lot of times that I didn't want to do the sport.
Yeah.
Especially like, I think a lot of people who are not involved with the sport and not fighting professionally don't realize how hard it is financially.
Oh, it is.
And especially when I like had kids and stuff.
Yeah.
I like wanting to quit so many times because I'm like, I just need to like get some money.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then a lot of the times, like my dad reminded me, look, we've done this for a long time. You can't stop now. Like you're right there. Just keep going at it.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very lucky that I've got my dad. Not just for that, for plenty reasons.
Of course.
But
that's what he just did to that guy. Right here. Throws that body shot, lands the body shot. Now, is he open? Yes, you can't protect yourself at all times when you're trying to fight. If you're going to try to hit somebody, you have to open up something in order to generate the right power. I go like this and knee him, but I'm not going to generate enough power to have him, respect that. So he's able to land this beautiful knee, drops down and pop, get his foot down and land a beautiful 1-2. And then he's able to boom right there, bop.
It's almost an unfair comparison, right? When we talk about pressure versus pressure, everybody's under tremendous pressure. But I guess when you kind of look at it from not just pressure, but potential legacy and career and what's on the line, I think it's hard to not go with Tom Aspinall because the heavyweight division is on the line. If Gane goes in and beats him, no disrespect to Gane, love the guy. The heavyweight division loses a lot of respect. Even if Tom goes out there and it's a close fight or he gets dropped and then has to come back or something, like the heavyweight division has so little respect right now, probably deservedly so, I think. With Gane getting his third title shot in a couple years, like Tom has to show that he is the heavyweight division. He has to prove that to the world. Like I am, the heavyweight division's not just shit, but like I'm so good that the heavyweight division is shit, right? This is kind of his thing that he has to go out there and prove to the world. And if he goes out there and loses to Gane, the division already is not respected. That brings Tom down significantly, I think, right? And of course, the potential Jon Jones fight, which is whatever, who knows, right? Like, how he beats Gane, assuming he does, may play a factor too. Like if it turns out to be a close fight, again, John's going to be on his phone with Twitter open watching this fight, like just waiting for Tom to fuck up and get dropped, get leg kicked and limping a little bit, or you know what I mean? John can't wait for that moment.
It is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the pride of Wigan, the one and only Tommy Aspinall, Tommy Aspinall, na. Tommy Aspinall, Tommy, defending his undisputed gold, technically for the very first time against the pride of France, the French prince himself, Bon Gamin himself, the one and only Ciryl Gane. These two have been going back and forth for the better part of 2, maybe 3 years. Well, this was the fight that we all thought was going to happen in Tom's official first title defense, and so it is in fact going to happen. Tom wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. That was the sense that we got when he became undisputed champion. He didn't want to wait for New York. Let's be honest, the tax is a little better over there in Abu Dhabi compared to New York for an Englishman, for anyone, if we're being 100% honest. And so he wanted to be active. He wanted to fight in October. He wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. It's closer to home, and so they oblige. And you'll recall a few weeks ago I said it's looking like Magomed and Alex, October 4th. It's looking like Tom versus Ciryl, October 25th. And it's looking like JDM versus Islam in New York. That would be the next pay-per-view. Now, that hasn't been officially announced. That hasn't been signed, sealed, and delivered. But at this point, I would be surprised, considering how the chips just fell earlier today. I would be surprised if it doesn't play out that way.
Is not someone who goes down easily. One slip, one counter, one small mistake. That's all it takes to change everything. As UFC 321 draws closer, both men look like they are peaking at exactly the right time. locked in and ready for war.
Of course that Cyryl's going to be on his bike. Of course Cyryl's going to have a game plan. Of course he's going to use the footwork. And Tom is going to have to catch him. He's going to have to be able to match the speed. He's going to have to be able to cut off the cage. He's going to have to be able to shoot extra quick, close the distance, get on the inside. And the thing is, at heavyweight as well, he's not necessarily starving himself. When a lot of fighters go down to a weight class, when I'm trying to cut down to 185, which would take a bloody lifetime at this point. But when you're trying to do that, you go into such a calorie deficit that you're losing muscle mass, okay? Tom Aspinall won't be doing that. He will be strong, he will be lean, he will be fast, he will be quick, and we know he's got the technique. Can he catch Ciryl Gane? Yes, of course he can. Can he take him down? 100%. But the big question is, if Tom catches him, if he takes him down, can Ciryl get back to his feet? There's a good possibility, right? Getting back to your feet is not that hard if you put the time and effort into it, okay? You don't play the jiu-jitsu game. You don't make mistakes. You shrimp. You push up against the fence. You do a wall walk, okay? You work on your whizzer. You get your underhooks, okay? But the question is, will Tom even try and do that?
Ciryl Gane's really, really good, and I've prepared for him accordingly.
And that was refreshing to hear you say that, because people are trying to spin a completely different narrative. Do you expect him to be a little bit more engaging, being that it's going to be probably his last opportunity at a heavyweight title fight?
I think I've got him at his best. He's been through those big fights. He's got them losses. No doubt he's learned from them losses. He's got the experience. He knows what it's like to fight under pressure. And this is his last chance, man. He's not going to get a fourth go. Like, this is his third go. If he's more engaging from a technical standpoint, that evens the odds up a lot more on my part. So I wouldn't, if I was him, I wouldn't force the engagement.
Because you said if you hit somebody square in the face, they're going to fall.
Yeah.
You believe in your power like that?
Yes.
Hey, Tom, also, hey, man, thanks for giving me props about the fight. Even though you're kind of polishing me up a little bit. When you go, DC would have been a problem if we fought.
I told you that years ago.
Yeah, I know you did, but still, to say,
no, honestly,
you're just kind of polishing me up. And I'm
not,
like, every now and again, somebody got to give the big boy some love, you know? Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, it's the truth. Yeah, it's the truth. I think you might have beat me up, man.
No, I would have. Hey, let me tell you something. I'd have been shooting from halfway across the octagon the moment they had said fight.
Hey, so they've announced this White House UFC fight. What do you think about that?
I think it's exciting. Very exciting.
Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any possible names you think?
Well, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. I feel like it'd be only fair to have an American guy fight for the championship that night. I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
Joe Rogan summed it up best. This fight is pure chaos waiting to happen. All the hype, all the pressure, and all the talk will finally come down to one moment. When Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane step into that cage, the world will see who truly runs a heavyweight division.